Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Nice to see you here. If you are new here, hi, my name is Carolyn. And while you're here, why don't you give us a little subscribe what? Subscribe if you're not already, and like this video if you like this video. And yeah, let's get into it. Today is going to be a review comparison sort of thing on the Kosas Cloud Set Powder. Now, I bought this because I was influenced via influencer marketing by Jamie Page because she would not shut up about this powder. And she said it was a really great powder for dry skin, super blurring, and I was like, I'm on board because I'm always looking for a good powder for dry skin. I do like it. I've been using it. I like it. I think it's a good powder for dry skin. I don't know if it's like this super magical blurring powder. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try it side by side with my go-to, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. This one has a slight blurring effect, and I think this one does too, but we're gonna kind of compare them to see if there's a real difference. I'm pretty sure they're similar price points. The Cloud Set might be a little bit cheaper actually. And yeah, we're gonna do a wear test. It's pretty late in the day. Once again, I got up early today. I don't know how this happens, but it's 2:40 p.m., but I will keep this on for as long as possible. So let's zoom you in and try it out. Obviously I have the rest of my face done, I just don't have powder on. Hello, so it is me in the future. So apparently I wasn't recording when I actually applied the Kosas powder, so I'm just gonna do a quick little demo right now just so you can see it applied. We're still gonna go through the wear test and everything in the video and comparisons and all that, but I just want you to be able to see it actually go on the face. I have a very quick, just no makeup look right now with the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, and I'm just going to show you what the Kosas powder looks like applied on top. Okay, I just got some on my little brush here, and we're just going to tap right in here along the nose and under the eye, and a little on the lid too. And there's a side by side. You'll see another one in a second here, but you can see how it did totally just instantly blur those pores and just mattify the skin a little bit. So yeah, that's what it looks like when it's applied. Okay, I hope you can see this, but this is the side with the Kosas powder and this is the side without. So you can totally see that it's really much more blurred right here. It's obviously mattified a little bit, but it still doesn't look heavy, I don't think. It looks really nice. Okay, that actually is pretty dang blurring. So now let's compare it to the Charlotte Tilbury. I have a small amount left to test with. I'm gonna use a different brush for science purposes, but we're gonna see if this has the same effect or different. So I'm just gonna put that over the pores. Okay, so that definitely had a blurring, mattifying effect as well, but again, it doesn't look super heavy on the skin, which is what I really like about this powder. I think the Kosas one may be slightly more blurring, but I don't think that there is like a huge difference between how they look between the two. I think that both powders, I mean, both of these powders do have somewhat of a blurring quality, so I think honestly it looks pretty similar side by side. Okay, so these are the two side by side. This is the Charlotte Tilbury and this is the Kosas. I think the Kosas is maybe slightly more blurred, but they're very similar and about the same texture on the skin as well. The Kosas one is $34 and the Charlotte Tilbury one is $45. So the Kosas is like $10 cheaper, so I would say if you don't have either, get the Kosas at this point at least. However, if you already have the Charlotte Tilbury powder, I don't think you need to rush out and buy the Kosas powder. So those are my thoughts right now. I think these are very similar on the skin, but we are gonna do a little bit of a wear test. It's $250 right now. I'm gonna try to keep this on as long as possible, and I will see you guys in a few hours. Okay, so it's about 7 p.m. right now. So the foundation's been on for about 4 hours, or the powder. That's what we're reviewing today. So I definitely think that the Charlotte Tilbury side has stayed more matte. So if you're really looking for something to control oil, that might be something you keep in mind. However, I think this side looks better on my skin because like here, like it just looks a little, I'm creasing worse under the eyes right here, and it just looks like a little bit more dry. I feel like the blurring effect has kind of gone away on both sides. Like my pores are definitely coming through on both sides. So I don't know, I would say probably the Charlotte Tilbury one has done a better job at actually controlling oil, but I think the Kosas one looks better on my skin, particularly being a super dry lady. So that's where we're at. I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, it is 9:30 right now, and this is as late as we're gonna go because I am 87, okay? So the foundation's been on for about 7 hours now, or I keep saying foundation, but I mean the powders. So I did blow my nose and it totally rubbed off. It looks a little better on this side, but only because it rubbed off more. Otherwise, I think the powders look virtually identical. I think they're both really good powders for dry skin. I think they can work with other skin types. I would say if you have oily skin, I do think the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush is a little better at controlling oil, but if you're dry, these are both great. They're like some of the most undetectable powders on the skin, I think, and they do both have a little bit of a blurring quality. I don't think the Kosas Cloud Set is necessarily like revolutionary, but it is a really nice blurring powder for dry skin. So I would say if you don't have either and you're looking into that sort of powder, I would go with the Kosas Cloud Set just because it is more affordable. I mean, it's still $34, but it's not as expensive as the Charlotte Tilbury. But if you already have the Charlotte Tilbury or you already have the Kosas Cloud Set, I don't think you need to rush out and buy the other one. They do virtually the same thing, and at the end of the night, they look pretty dang similar. I'm almost out of the Charlotte Tilbury, so I'll definitely be using the Kosas once that is out. I do like it. It didn't change my life, unfortunately, as Jamie Page promised, but what are you gonna do? I do like it, and I think it's a really nice powder for dry skin. Anyways, that is all for me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.